going on, folks? This is podcast number, I'm not even really sure.
30, maybe. Is it 30 yet?
30, 31, something like that. You know, we're old pros now and don't even remember what numbers we're doing anymore. So, thanks for joining us. What's been going on, Dave?
Not much. It's been a long time. I'm glad we're back.
We really don't even have a plan. We're just kind of
Yeah.
we're like, if we don't
Gotta
do
do
one,
something.
we're probably never going to do one again.
Yeah.
Your hair's looking more and more glorious every
I'm
day.
going to grow it long. I'm going to get a ponytail or a mullet. I haven't decided yet.
It's pretty sweet. I was going with that as well, but I got to a point where mine just was not cooperating, so I just shaved it off.
Yeah, this one's not cooperating really either.
The top is what's hard for me. It's not the back. Like the back, I'm able to control. It's just the top.
My
Like
hair,
I kind of want to slick it
yeah,
back.
my hair won't go down if I put gel in it. Like
Yeah.
it absorbs it and it doesn't like.
Yeah, that's what mine
Weird.
kept doing. It was like, well, fighting back. It looks good in a hat though.
Yeah.
So I guess you found the niche.
Yeah, I've never had my hair this long, so hopefully, so I can make it.
So there's like so much stuff going on in the world too.
Yeah.
But you know, I don't really even know where to start. I mean, I guess we should probably start with Avengers, huh?
Yeah, Avengers.
So you liked it pretty well?
Yeah, I liked it a lot. Yeah, it wasn't like too crazy. It weren't like any like crazy like twists or anything.
Were you expecting that though?
No, I just
I
know
don't-
everybody else was, and it's been talked about for like a whole
I
year.
think I'm too old for twists and turns. Like,
Well, I mean, they're like, yeah, this and this. But if you saw Ant-Man versus Wasp, you kind of know that they had to tie it into.
I didn't see that. See, it's on Netflix,
Oh, yeah,
and I started watching
We talked
it,
about that around the Super Bowl.
and I just was like, I couldn't finish it, and I never got back to it. But we did watch like Guardians of the Galaxy 2, and
Yeah.
we watched Infinity War the night before just to try to kind of prep a little bit for the movie itself.
Did you see Captain Marvel either?
Nope, sure didn't see that one either. But it didn't seem like she had as big of a role in.
Captain
Endgame.
Marvel was kind of corny, but I mean, that whole character, but.
Yeah, she was real cocky in the movie. But yeah, I really liked it. I thought it was pretty I mean, there were some obvious twists and turns. I mean, they weren't too crazy, but just the way that they kind of did everything, it was pretty cool. There was a lot of layers to the movie. I liked that. And I thought it was kind of neat that they really focused on the original characters as opposed to trying to branch off and have all
Do
these
too much.
stories, which they kind of did a lot in Infinity War. But, I really liked it. I definitely want to see it again. I'm just torn on, do I really want to sit through 3.5 hours in a movie theater, or do I want to wait till it comes out to where I can watch it something
That was the
else?
worst part about it. The beginning of it kind of drug on a little bit, but it's a great movie though, so I can't complain.
I didn't think any of it drug really.
The best part is when they go. I'm not giving any spoilers or anything. Is when they go visit Thor to try to get the gang back together.
Yeah.
Like those kind of scenes in every movie is pretty funny.
Yeah, that they made that they made that really good. What they did with his character, and I was yelling Lebowski, and then I was like, he's the dude, and then 10 seconds later, Tony Stark says something. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, that was pretty cool. They had a lot of funny moments in it. It wasn't as heart wrenching or heartbreaking as I thought it would be. I was pretty happy with the ending, and. That kind of brings up the other thing that's been going on a lot. Game of Thrones has been back on for a couple weeks now. The episode tonight is the longest episode of Game of Thrones to date, and it's got the largest and longest battle in movie or television history. So, do you have any theories of what's going to happen for that?
No, I talked to one of my friends before I got over here. I was at his house, and he was like, when you think about it, the Night King and the Dragon's probably going to go get Cersei while the army destroys everybody up north. I was like, I didn't think of that. But I mean, it makes more sense than them having to cram it on 2 episodes. But I don't know. I don't think, like I said, I think there'll be a lot of twists and turns. So.
Yeah, I don't know that the Night King is that complex. I don't know. I don't know if he's playing chess per se. I think he's just kind of playing checkers. And I don't think that they would have took all the time into saying the Night King always knows where Bran is, and then use him as bait. Now, do I think that everything's going to be over with the Army of the Dead and the Night King and stuff this episode? I have no idea. There's so many loose ends that they have to tie up. I've been very pleased with the episode so far, even though they haven't had a lot of action. It's tied up a lot of loose ends. It's had a lot of endearing and funny stories in the two episodes so far. But I just don't know how they're going to tie it all in.
Are there 2 more episodes after this one, or 3 more?
There'll be 3 more after this one.
Okay. Oh yeah, because this is the 3rd one, I think.
There's 6 episodes, so this is the 3rd out of 6.
It's a lot of stuff to finish out a TV show that big, 3 episodes.
So, but we've never talked about this show on here. I really want to know your theories, not just for this episode, but for like what do you think's gonna happen?
I think for sure, like tonight, like most people will die, and then John and Darius probably have to get married because they've kind of talked about it a couple of times, and then she's talked about him having the claim to the throne. And I think it's going to be kind of straightforward, and they're not going to end it with a bad ending, I would imagine.
I don't know. They all of the actors and actresses said essentially that it was something that they had never imagined. Like, no, that's what what's his face that plays Jon Snow said, that it was nothing like he had ever envisioned. So that tells me it was probably pretty different from what he was thinking. So
yeah, maybe or probably just saying that too.
So you think that John and Daenerys make it through tonight?
Yeah, I would say so.
I would say so too.
Yeah, because there's that whole other issue brought up about them getting married. They wouldn't have said that if there wasn't.
But do you think that anything changes now that they found out their family members, or is it just so set in Targaryen ways?
I guess
anyway,
they're going to have to come to a compromise because she needs him to
secure the North.
Yeah, and he needs her to so he won't come after.
Plus, they're kind of a yin and a yang in real life anyway.
Yeah,
her character's kind of become a lot more Cersei-like. And, like whenever he told her that he was Aegon Targaryen, just the look on her face, and it's just like, I think that one of the big things that's going to happen tonight is that I wouldn't be surprised if all the dragons ended up dead. Because I think that they put so much of her character into her character behind these dragons and having these dragons. I think that the author would probably want to explore life without the dragons. Like, what is she going to do now? Because all of her control, everything that she's amassed has essentially been because of the dragons, as opposed to, like Jon Snow, who's kind of, he did come back to life, but, everything that he's done has been a little bit more organic. And so many of her snarky comments and things that she does is based upon having these dragons. I think it would be interesting to explore what happens to her after the dragons are gone. And plus, it'll make the battle for the Iron Throne after the Night King that much more entertaining.
Or do you think the Night King will just die tonight, like in the episode, like the end?
I mean, he could. I don't know.
I mean, Arya's got that. Do you think Arya's weapon thing's for the dragon or the Night King?
I don't know. It might be for Cersei. I don't know.
But she made it with dragon glass, so it kills whatever the dragons.
I mean, but how do we know? She just said make it a weapon. She didn't say make this weapon out of dragon glass.
But they were talking about dragon glass, weren't they, when she built it in Valyrian steel and stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I guess. I don't know that. I would think. I don't guess it really matters who kills the Night King. To me, it matters a lot more who kills Cersei, who kills the Mountain, stuff like that. And I really don't know what's going to happen. I don't know that the Hound will actually make it to kill the Mountain. I wouldn't be surprised if Arya didn't use her little face stealing to put the Mountain's face on herself and go kill the Mountain in the name of the Hound, because they're both on her list anyway. So, but I've essentially tried not to make too many theories for what could happen this episode. Like, I never really have given it much thought to who's going to make it through this. I don't know if I'm wrong in that, but I mean, to me, there's always been 3 theories. One, that Jon and Daenerys end up ruling together because they're such a yin and yang. It's the obvious choices, and instead of you're going to sit on the Iron Throne, I'm going to sit on the Iron Throne, actually have both of them sit there together as a unified, North and South to rule everybody, to have everybody together. And then Sam, I would kind of like to see Sam just because I like his character, and I think he's such a sweet character. I think it'd be kind of cool to see him be king. And then I think my kind of outsider choice is Tyrion. Like, after all the dust settles and everybody else is dead, then I could very easily see Tyrion end up being the main character and the ruler of the Iron Throne.
Yeah. Did I send you the ESPN rankings of the odds?
Yes, you did. Yeah. He was way down. I was like,
yeah.
I'll put some money on Tyrion.
Him and
for
Night
sure.
King and Cersei were like the last ones.
It's not gonna be. I don't think it's gonna be the Night King.
Wasn't Gendry like top 3 or was he number 1 or something? It was something weird. I think it was like.
That's strange.
Yeah,
he's definitely down tonight.
Yeah, but that was before that stuff happened.
I think he's probably definitely gonna die. I think Cersei and Jaime are definitely gonna die. I think the Night King's gonna die for sure. I'm not so sure about the Starks. I think Bran will probably live, but I could easily see them killing off Sansa or Arya. I don't know. I really don't know what's going to happen. But if they kill off Jon Snow, I'm rioting. It might be a one-man riot, and it might not get much accomplished. But I just think he's one of my favorite characters of fiction television of all time. So for sure. So no theories for who sits on the Iron Throne for you?
Nah, I feel like I had to say it'd be like either like Cersei stays or it'd be like
you would be that guy.
Yeah. Or it'd be like
I'm actually pulling for Cersei. She's had a really hard life.
I got like a T-shirt on.
Yeah.
So,
the Night King brings back Joffrey, and he real
or my other ones like Daenerys and Jon will get married, and one of them has to die of doing something, and the other one will be there. That's like, I guess that's like the only way I could see it. It's like one of those two.
Yeah, I don't know. It's very complex. I can't wait for tonight. I can't wait to see how they actually make everything work. To me, I can't remember. Was it Helmand, the Battle of Helmand or whatever, where they fought the Nazi army the zombie army the first time, and it was almost like a little bit cluttered because it's like so much, kind of like Helm's Deep and Lord of the Rings, which is the battle that they're comparing it to. So I'm really interested to see if it just is like too overwhelming, or if they're able to kind of separate everything and make it to where it all works.
Yeah, I think that's what's going to happen. They're going to find the ones that they have to kill the rest of them. Like they did, like in that movie we talked about where they killed the one, and then like all the rest of them like died.
I don't know how it's going to work, but I know that a lot of the previews and stuff actually was inside the castle. So obviously at some point it gets breached, so that tells me that there must be a lot of calamity going on the outside. But I just hope that they don't make it like they're making the zombies and stuff move a little bit too fast, and with the CGI and stuff. And I hope it's not like that. I hope you're able to kind of clearly identify what's going on and go from there. But I mean, I'm really having a hard time with it because I'm exhausted. I've been off on vacation this week, but you know how that goes with vacation. You seem to end up doing a lot more than you would if you're just having a normal work week. So I'm pretty exhausted, and I got to be up. Monday's my earliest day of the week. So I'm really torn with staying up. I want to stay up really bad, but I don't know.
Yeah, you kind of have to.
I don't know if I can. Here's the thing. My brother-in-law's here. They want to watch it, and they're in Frankfurt right now. So I have to wait for them to get back from Frankfurt to either start it, or if I start it before, as soon as they get here, I have to start it over. And so if I have to start it over and it's like 10:30, 11, and I've already invested, I don't know how long it is. How long is it? Is
like
it 90 minutes?
An hour and 20 minutes or something.
Okay, that's not bad.
Yeah.
So I might actually be able to finish it before they get here. But like if it's like 10 o'clock when they get here and then I got 20 minutes left and then I got to rewatch an hour just to get to that 20 minutes, I probably won't do it. So, but yeah, I think it's going to be cool. What about the Dragons? Do you think the Dragons make it through tonight?
I would say so.
I don't know. I just don't. If the Dragons make it through, it makes the battle with Cersei so much less interesting.
Isn't there like one of the prophecies, like the dragons are in, like destroy the main town or whatever, King's Landing?
I didn't know that was a prophecy.
I don't remember. I think maybe that's just like something I thought like in my
head. But they've done so much to not destroy King's Landing at this point. They're like, we're not burning cities and all that stuff. So I can't imagine that being the case. I just think that if like one or two of the dragons survive and Cersei has 20,000 men, and it's just not going to be a fair fight. It'll be boring. It'll be like, well, Daenerys and Jon win, dragons win. Now it could be interesting if Daenerys dies and then Jon has to control the dragons.
Yeah, because he rode the one.
Yeah, that could be interesting. But I think that I can't see that either the dragons, Jon or Daenerys, one of them has to die tonight. So I can't see it working any other way because it'd just be too easy. Like, oh, we got dragons and
Everybody's gonna be excited for this episode, and then it's like another build-up episode. They're like sitting there spending 30 minutes and then building a fort or something.
Right before I took a nap. I've been in Malibu Jacks all day for like 4 hours. I'm so tired. I played like 15 games of Pop Shot, which is like $200 million, and I got tiny basketball, and that's all. But so I was exhausted. I came home, I took a nap, and I woke up from my nap, and I was like, I'm gonna give myself 5 minutes just to wake up. So I was scrolling through Instagram, and I saw that whatever the chick's name that plays Sansa, she's like, prepare yourself for the Battle of Winterfell. So it must be pretty bad if the actresses are tweeting about it before. It must be pretty bad. So
it might be, but like Walking Dead, what they would do is there'd be like 2 more episodes of them like hammering stuff, and they're like, Eugene, how you gonna make these nails?
Yeah, but like with the difference between Game of Thrones and Walking Dead is like Game of Thrones killed the dude that was on the front of the first season DVD like right off the rip.
Yeah, and then they've got like 3 episodes to end to match all all this like huge content.
Yeah,
it's weird that the show's so successful with like how like complex it is.
Yeah,
that's what I thought about Lord of the Rings. Like,
I think it's weird that they're ending it with how successful and complex it is.
When I was like 6th grade, I read The Hobbit, and it was pretty good. I started reading the Lord of the Rings books. I'm like, man, this is just like, because it's got all the maps and languages. Yeah. I'm like, man, it's so like complex. I don't know how like anybody had ever enjoyed this stuff before.
It's like kind of like Star Wars. It's like, how the heck did they think?
Yeah,
of this
but even
stuff?
Star Wars stuff, most of it's like backstory that like from fans or something like it. Well, now from other
now
movies.
it is, but I'm talking about originally.
Yeah, then like, but I mean, like Lord of the Rings and Game of Thrones is like whole universes with languages that they've actually made up themselves.
Right.
Lord of the Rings especially, it's like so like I don't know.
Got Elvish and whatever those orcs were speaking. I mean, it's pretty complicated stuff. What did you think about the text that I sent you? I was like having a crazy dream the other night, and I was like, this could be Bran falling, being in some type of weird coma, and this could all be his dream. I mean, I'm being serious.
Worst ending.
And like he wakes up in the end of it, and then like he's like, Dad, Jamie pushed me out of the window, and then Ned goes and kills all of them.
Wasn't there a show that ended like that? It was like Lost or something like that ended like that?
No.
I don't remember.
Lost ended where they found out they were like in some type of purgatory.
Yeah. It
wasn't really a dream.
Lost was so good till like, it was like the 3rd season, and it started doing
the first couple seasons were some of the best.
They're like, man, we didn't think this show was going to go on that long. What are we going to kill it with?
Yeah. We thought for sure we'd be
and,
canceled by now. Yeah, Lost was pretty good. But yeah, I'm sad to see Game of Thrones ending. I don't know if I'm going to watch the prequel thing that they're going to be doing or not. I guess we'll just have to see how it all turns out. But yeah, I'm interested to see what happens tonight. And I mean, I guess if it's good enough, then we'll have to do another podcast on.
Yeah.
It's
definitely gonna be good enough. I'm pretty excited.
We'll see. It could be like one of those that they like try to go so outlandish that they end up pissing everybody off. Kind of like not having Rick on The Walking Dead anymore. So I mean, it's just one of those things where I don't know. I hope that it's not though. I mean, they had 2 years to get it right, so hopefully they got it right.
Yeah. So another thing we talked about a lot is the Jeopardy guy. Have you got to watch him yet?
I haven't watched him.
You haven't watched a single episode? He's on like 20.
No, I haven't watched a single episode because what happened was I had my DVR to only record 5 at a time.
Oh, okay.
So
you haven't watched them
a lot. And so like it's like behind, and now I'm like, I don't want to start it, and then I have people in and they want to watch stuff, and so I just haven't had a chance.
Yeah, it's been awesome. Like the guy, he broke $1 million like earlier in the week.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool.
I saw him on ESPN actually.
Yeah, and he's been like on everything.
They're talking about how he like did gambling, like sports gambling on the side, and he seemed like an interesting guy. But I have not got to actually watch it. So
we watched the episode the other day, and like Alex Trebek asked him how he knows a lot about every subject. And he said that he was reading, went to the library and read children's books, which makes a lot of sense because children's books like really just give you like the outside basic concepts of things.
Yeah.
If you're trying to learn a bunch about little about a bunch of stuff, that'd be the best way to do it.
His house is just full of like everything for dummies, like those yellow and white, or black and yellow books. Yeah, I haven't watched it. I do have access to Hulu now, so I assume that they probably put those over there, right? Cause
they do. Yeah.
So that's probably how I'll end up having to watch it. So I'm not sure how I feel about him breaking all the records. I think they need to test him. He's on some PEDs. He's on Adderall or something. So
the nootropics. What's that movie? Have you seen that Bradley Cooper movie when he's taking Limitless?
Yeah, that was pretty
I
good.
forgot about that.
I watched it once. I probably wouldn't.
Yeah. So
what about playoffs? Have you watched any of the playoffs?
I watched like the first 4 games, like almost of every single one, and like
stopped.
the first round sucked, dude.
Yeah, it was
after
bad.
like the Thunder lost the other day. I was like,
I like Portland though. That's
that
probably my 2 favorite teams.
That was such an awesome He did that exact same shot the first game, and Paul George saw him hold the ball and didn't think, this guy could have just shoot it from
red
right there.
alert. Red alert.
He's like, the guy had made 9 3-pointers before he shot that one. He made 10 that game.
Yeah,
Damian Lillard.
He's very underrated.
Yeah.
I hope he never gets the credibility that he probably deserves, and that's mean to say, but I think that it would take his chip off his shoulder if he's getting a lot more credit. Yeah. We talked so much earlier in the year about the Celtics and how much they were kind of up and down, and they beat the Bucks today by 22.
Yeah.
I didn't get to watch any of the game because I was at Malibu Jacks, but I was pretty surprised by that, seeing that line score come out.
Yeah, I mean, Celtics are coming around. So are the Raptors too.
Yeah, that could be a potentially really good Eastern Conference Finals.
I know. And I want to see the Sixers and Bucks. I think that's the best matchup. But then I guess. That's another good matchup.
The Sixers are the most puzzling team.
They had Tobias
so
Harris just a few months ago. He's like one of the best shooters in the NBA. No one talks about.
They have so much talent.
Yeah,
it's like it must be a leadership issue.
Well, there's all criticism against them that they don't really, play with a lot of hard stuff like they're takes it on the bench and stuff. And
yeah, but didn't that end up being something with family member or something like that?
Something about there's a family emergency. But
yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know either. I think it's a leadership issue. I think that they had something natural and organic with all these this kind of super team that they were building, and then you bring in somebody like Jimmy Butler who's had all these problems.
No one's ever coexisted with Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, and then you kind of just throw a little bit of gasoline on the fire. And now all these young guys that were kind of figuring out who's going to be the leader amongst them, you got this new guy come in, and I'm sure he's trying to be the top dog, and he really hasn't done that much since he's been with the Sixers anyway. So
crazy the Clippers got rid of him, then the Clippers actually beat the Warriors twice and got 2 games on them.
Yeah.
You think that's going to happen this series with the Warriors? You think they're going to sweep?
Did they win today?
Yeah, they won.
I don't know.
They were losing when I watched them.
Well, did Steph and Clay play?
They were both. I think they were both playing.
Okay, yeah.
But I watched maybe 2 or 3 minutes of it earlier.
I don't think anybody can beat them, man. I think that somebody else will have to have an injury. I mean, Cousins was the first injury. They need a second injury for anybody to even have a chance. I would love to see somebody that's gritty, like Portland, do it. But Portland, you're losing Nurkic. That's a giant blow.
Yeah, and then Canner came in and filled in perfectly.
Yeah, but they were so much more dynamic when they had Canner come off the bench. Kind of like the Thunder did before they got rid of him. They had 2 big men in Adams and Canner, and it worked out really well. I guess they still have Canner and Myers Leonard, but I don't know. I don't know that that's the same caliber, 2 big men, but I think it could be very compelling because I think that Portland has a chip on their shoulders. They have a grit to them, and I don't think the Warriors have that. Kind of like the Clippers. The Clippers gave them a problem, and obviously I think Portland's much better than the Clippers.
Yeah, I mean, I could probably name 5 players on the Clippers, but it would take me a few minutes to sit and try to
I don't know if I could name 5.
Yeah.
Now that Tobias Harris plays for the Sixers, I don't know if I could name 5. I might get a couple. But yeah, I mean, I just don't see anybody that can beat the Warriors in the Western Conference or the Eastern Conference, barring any type of injury or something coming out like in the locker room problems or something, Draymond Green causing some type of issue. I can't really see a way for them to lose, and I hate that, and I think it's definitely putting a damper on basketball right now as a whole.
It's not gonna last for long. Strand's gonna leave, obviously.
Maybe not.
I mean, I wouldn't leave if I was him, but
why would he?
Yeah, you get a guarantee.
Yeah. They all reshuffle their contracts to take less money, and I mean, I'm sure that their endorsements, cover up for it.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to play with LeBron, so there's no real, emerging threat in the West. I mean, I don't know why you would do
Got
it.
the perfect team built. So, I mean,
I don't think that the Rockets are. I think the Rockets are a complete pretender. I think that James Harden's a clown, and it's hard to win with clowns. So
Yeah, like man, I love Westbrook, man, but there were some obvious mismatches with Steven Adams and Enes Kanter. Adams probably could have got like 30 points a game, in my opinion, but I mean, you may have seen it a little different than me, but like, I don't know. It just seemed like Adams didn't get the ball as much as he should have.
I think that Westbrook kind of he forces a lot of shots and he disappears in big moments in the playoffs. Not in the regular season, but in the playoffs. I think that Chris Paul is kind of similar in that aspect because he kind of disappears in the playoffs and chokes a little bit as well. And I think that's one of the reasons that those really good Clippers teams and now the really good Rockets teams can't take it to the next level. To me, the Portland's the dark horse that might have a shot if they can somehow steal one of the first two games in Oakland and then they take it back up to Portland. That's the dark horse. And as far as in the East, man, I think it really depends on what team shows up. I mean, the Bucks are really good, Celtics are really good, the Sixers can be really good, Raptors are really good. It's just one of those things that whoever's playing at the right moment.
If we did this show like before, like the NBA playoffs, I would have said that the Pacers were going to upset the Celtics. I got sunny about that. Like I really believed that it was going to happen, and the Celtics turned around and swept them.
Yeah.
It just kind of means like how important it is to have a superstar on your team.
I just think, that, and I think that a lot of these teams, they get used to winning a certain amount of games in the Eastern Conference or Eastern Conference or Western Conference, whatever it may be. Like you look at the Warriors and how many games they lost this year. It's almost like they get bored with it, and I really feel like that happens a lot, especially in the day and age of social media and video games and all these. They're young kids with millions and millions of dollars. I just feel like there's too many distractions. And then when the playoffs come around, they kind of tighten it down a little bit. The Raptors seem to be kind of one of those teams that kind of a little bit more laser focused. But
they're a lot better than they were last year.
Well, because of Kawhi.
With Sam Siakam.
Yeah.
I can't ever say his name. Siakam, I think is how you say it.
I think you're right. I can't pronounce it for sure, so I don't
Pascal Siakam.
Yeah, something like that.
He was really good. I watched him play the other day, and he looked like the best player on the court.
Yeah, but, just for the record, I said that LeBron wouldn't make the playoffs and here we are, deep in the playoffs. LeBron.
I think I said there's no way he's not going to be in the playoffs.
Yeah, and he's trying so hard to stay relevant with all his stupid Instagram posts and stuff like that, but nobody wants to play with him, and I hope that he never makes a playoffs game. So, there, I said it. What about baseball?
I haven't been watching much baseball. I've watched like maybe 5 or 6 Reds games.
Yeah.
I've been in a fantasy baseball league with your brother, so
it's pretty much consuming.
Yeah, and your dad, so they're pretty cutthroat.
I watched probably more than I've watched in a long time this year so far, so I'm hoping not to like wear myself out because it's a long season, but if it's the weekend or even a weeknight and I got a couple hours to kill, I'll flip one of them on and just trying to stay a little bit more, current with.
What's the team that you like to watch this year?
Trout's my favorite player, so I try to watch the Angels when they're on.
Yeah, I watched one Angels game this year. I think it was like opening night or something like that.
Yeah, he got real hot there for a couple games that I watched, and I've been watching highlights since then, and I haven't really seen him do a whole lot. But he just reminds me of Mickey Mantle so much. He was probably my favorite player of all time. And, I just really enjoy watching him play. Once Harper went to the Phillies, I watched the Nationals a lot, but once Harper went to the Phillies, I cannot wear a Phillies hat. I cannot support the Phillies. So
Trout may be the best baseball player that ever played.
Maybe. He's had a lot of injury problems. He misses significant time, it seems like, every year.
Yeah, that'll catch up with him, too.
Yeah, it did with Mantle.
Yeah.
Mantle played through so much, and then it ended up catching up with him.
About Christian Yelich too. That guy's been on a tear.
Dude, how is Altuve and Yelich hitting the ball like they do?
Altuve's got a swing.
They must be on some type of space age steroids.
It's just so weird that someone that small like Altuve can.
Altuve weighs 153 pounds, and he's shorter than me sitting at this table, and somehow he's hitting bombs. And Yelich weighs 112 pounds. And I just don't understand it. It must be mechanics. It's got to be a lot of how hard the dudes throw now. But there's something weird going on.
There's
with
something
them.
crazy that all of Yeldon's home runs. It might have changed this week because I saw it like last Monday or something. Have been at like home. Like he hasn't hit a single one ever.
Oh really? I didn't know that.
So he's hit like 20 home runs already at home.
I watched the Reds game. I was texting you about that. I was like, man, how do you do this?
Yeah,
This
it's
is
awful.
terrible.
That's why I've only watched like 5 or 6 of them. I watched
So
one.
bad.
I watched them play the Braves the other night.
At least they have
beat.
like some recognizable players this year. I sent you the text about Joey Votto for the first time in his career popping out to first base. I was like, how's that even possible?
It's such a strange stat.
I did that like the second game of slow pitch softball. I mean, we're not even talking about baseball, so I can't even imagine how hard that would be for somebody to do in baseball. I mean, that's unreal. So but I still hate them. Just for the record.
The Reds have their team has upgraded from last year, but they're still like just as bad, I think, as last year. There's some interesting things to watch, like that Derek Dietrich guy. He's really good. And, I didn't think he was going to get to play it much, but then Scooter Gennett got hurt.
Yeah.
Scooter Gennett, he's like doing the same thing Scooter did last year, pretty much. So
there's so many injuries in baseball.
Yeah.
Like, I was reading the stats about, like, how many players, like, that Boston has lost, so many players that
New York, New York's like entire
lost.
lineup.
And like the Yankees are such an intriguing team because they have so much star power, but then none of them are playing.
Did you see like it was like because the Rays are last in the MLB in payroll, and they had like the #1 record in baseball just a few days ago, and it like compared them to the Yankees, like the wins and losses and runs. And
but don't the Yankees have like 14 players out or something like that, 12 or 14?
Yeah, it was like it was 9 like a couple weeks ago. So
I think it was like every infield starter.
Yeah, every infield starter.
And then Judge went out with that rib injury, and he was going to be on the deal. I mean, it's a crazy time, and Boston's going through something similar. And baseball really needs Boston and the Yankees. I mean, they're obviously two of the bigger markets and two of the teams that have won it for the last 20 years. You've had a contender almost all the time, so. I would like to see them get healthy and just to enjoy baseball. That's my main goal is to kind of try to enjoy it.
I'm trying to like watch other teams because like usually most years I don't really watch other teams besides like Reds.
But you have to because of necessity. Like it's just so depressing. I admit it. I was like, I don't know how you do this. Like I was so depressed. It's like it was so hard to watch.
Like they were worse at one point in time, but it wasn't as sad.
I bet I
guess
had
because you kind of expected it. They had the run of being decent. They have really good players.
Well, I had a bunch of Mariners stuff in the '90s, and then Griffey got traded to Cincinnati or signed with Cincinnati. I don't remember how it went. No, I'm too old. And I got all Cincinnati Griffey jersey, 6 different Reds hats, and I was diehard. Even after he left, watching all the time.
Yeah, it was pretty big around here, like the mania around the Reds end, like.
But I can't do it anymore, man. Like it was like being a Cowboys fan. You grow up, and around here we don't have any big teams, so you pretty much grow up supporting who your dad supports. So my dad was a Cowboys fan, and I did it forever and ever, and they just never made the team any better. It's like it's the same thing over and over again, and that's the same way I feel about the Reds. And it's like, man, I can't do this anymore.
Made the playoffs 3 times since I've been born, I think, or something.
Yeah, and so I was like, okay, I'm done being a Reds fan. I'm done watching baseball. And then the one year when Harper and Trout, kind of started coming up, I started watching baseball again. Bought a Nationals hat, bought an Angels hat, and I pretty much stuck with those 2 guys the whole time. I didn't jump on the Judge or the Stanton or any of those bandwagons. Those are pretty much my 2 guys. And I thought that Harper would be loyal. And, I could kind of stomach him going to, like, the Dodgers or somebody like that, but I cannot stomach the Phillies. That's
I don't like the Phillies either.
Phillies, Cardinals, places like that, I cannot do it. I mean, so, I'm like, well, I guess I'm not, supporting them anymore. So
at least their team's really good. Like, they're like kind of like the Yankees have, like, a lot of guys that you've heard of and stuff playing on them.
But, so just pretty much watch the Angels now. I bought another throwback Angels hat the other day. And
which one did you get, the lowercase A with the halo?
Yeah.
Oh, that's the cool one.
Yeah, the lowercase A with the halo. I had to get it from China because it discontinued. So, some hat store in China or Japan had it. I can't remember which one. I had to pay like $15 extra, but it was worth it. So, but My favorite one is actually the uppercase A with the angel wings, my black and white one.
The Anaheim ones.
Yeah, and that one's discontinued as well. They're
That
just
was they came out this first year I went to Anaheim, wasn't it?
yeah, they're doing the uppercase A with the halo thing on top of it. That almost looks like the Seattle Supersonics.
Kind of like their old ones.
Yeah, and so that's what everybody's going to. And I found it pretty cool that you can like buy like hats with players' names on the side of them now. Like there's one that had Trout 27 on it, and I was like, well, it's kind of neat.
Yeah, I think Brett got one a few years ago. It's like Joey Votto or something.
That figures. So, well, man, what else is going on? You want to wrap it up and get ready to watch Game of Thrones? We're like 45 minutes away, so.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, so we appreciate you all watching. We really want to get back on here just to do something different. Hopefully be bringing you guys some more guests here. So much energy and effort went into kind of securing Matt and doing the whole Matt podcast. You know, I think I needed a break. We probably both needed a break, and now we're kind of moving on, and hopefully we'll be doing a lot more here in the coming weeks. And I've got several people that I've been kind of conversating with about coming on and doing the podcast, and hopefully we'll be able to get some new people on and bring you guys some new stuff. And I guess worst comes to worst, we'll get on here and talk about sports and Game of Thrones. So if that's all it goes.
Yeah,
so.
We're coming up with some new hobbies to talk about.
Yeah, we'll start some scrimshaw or something.
Yeah,
you know, whatever it takes to make the podcast succeed.
Book club.
Book. Yep. So we appreciate you guys watching. Make sure that you like, share, subscribe. Go to our Instagram page, like it. I'm gonna try to start kicking up a little bit more content and stuff like that on Instagram and Facebook as well. And we'll share that on those platforms. And we appreciate all your support. Have a good night.